Hi loves, welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, it's great to have you. So today I'm going to be doing this really cute nail art design, and it's going to be in awareness of the Black Lives Matter movement that's been going on right now. As you guys know, I am a black woman, so this is very near and dear to my heart. So I thought I would have a little story time, kind of chit chat with you guys just to share my views and kind of my ideas and why I support this cause so strongly. Okay guys, keep watching. Okay loves, so for today's video I am going to be working on some press-on nails, and I will have these press-ons for sale on my Instagram account, so you can go on over to my Instagram at Diamondsonmynails if you guys wanted to purchase any of these press-ons for this beautiful Black Lives Matter. And I just wanted to say also that for those of you who have been supporting me over on Instagram in accordance to me getting hacked and all that stuff on Diamonds on My Nails, I really appreciate it. So the new account now is going to be Diamonds on My Nail Tips, and that's where you guys can find me and reach me. And if you guys are following me at Diamonds on My Nails, you guys can just go ahead and unfollow that account because I don't know what's going on with it anyways. So thank you guys so much again for your support, and I really appreciate it. Now all I'm doing here is I mixed some black gel polish with some clear base coat, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put that on all the nails and cure them for about 30 seconds. Now, talking about this beautiful and important cause that's going on, this beautiful movement, Black Lives Matter. Now a lot of people are kind of spinning this and kind of making it seem like something that's horrible, and if you do feel like that's horrible, now I can't really speak on your behalf, but you really need to analyze and think about the changes that we're trying to have and trying to make happen. And I understand sometimes we want things to go a peaceful way, but sometimes in times of chaos and stress, and especially when you're not getting the support you need, things kind of tend to stir out of hand very quickly and easily. But in the same time, this is kind of my way of speaking up, because I just feel like being silent is not really helping the situation and it's almost adding to it. So I thought that I would share with you guys like my little story and just why this matters to me so much, and why I want to see the change in society in terms of racism, in terms of people just looking at others with general disrespect and hate. Now, for those of you who don't know, my family is a mixed race family, so my children are mixed. They are half Middle Eastern and half Jamaican. I'm from Jamaica. My husband is from Iraq, and they are very beautiful, fair-skinned, curly-haired babies, and I love them so very much. So I don't consider myself to be racist in any way, and I love all races. My entire family is multicultural. We have a little bit of everywhere around the world, and I love the diversity. We get to share different foods and different ideas and different languages. We get to share so much in our family, and it's just a beautiful thing. So I'd love to see the world embrace kind of a situation like that. And now, just to let you guys know, I have dealt with racism my entire life, ever since I was a child all the way up until my adult years. Even now, I still get racist comments that are directed to me, and I still get attacked on a daily basis. But what I kind of want to share to you guys is an experience that I had when I was around 14 years old. And when I was 14 years old, I consider myself to be kind of still a child, even though I was in my teenage years. But 14 years old then compared to 14 years old now, there's a big difference in maturity level, along with I was very sheltered and protected by my parents just because they didn't want to see anything bad happen to us, considering the fact that we were black children in a majority of a society that didn't really look at black people as good, especially in the neighborhood where we were living in. Now, I just don't want people to get the wrong impression. I was a pretty good kid growing up. I mean, I sound biased because I'm talking about myself, but nonetheless, I was pretty decent. I tried to keep myself very active with sports, and I loved going to school and just hanging out with my friends, my parents, and kind of stuff like that. I didn't really get into too much mischief. I wasn't a party girl. I didn't go out very much, but when I did, it was more so to the movies with my brothers or my family, and that was pretty much about it. Those of you who know me will know exactly what I'm talking about, so you guys can vouch for me. So when I was 14 years old, I was volunteering at a summer camp, and this is something that I always did ever since I entered high school, and it was just something that I loved doing, and it made me happy. So when I was volunteering at this summer camp, I actually was on lunch, and my mom's salon just happened to be down the street. So my mom actually owned a hair salon when I was a child, and she loves doing hair. She still does it till today. So I went to go visit her for my lunch break because she was so close to me, and while I was visiting her, she had one of her clients that she was expecting kind of pull up into the parking lot of the hair salon. Now we have a giant window in the salon, so you can see straight across the parking lot, and my mom was kind of busy with another client, and I looked out the window and I noticed that her client that was outside was actually talking to the police. And I told my mom, I said, do you know what's going on? Is she okay? And my mom was like, I'm not too sure, but when I'm done here, I'll go check. So I kind of told my mom, you know what, I'll go ask her, or I'll just go stand there and see if she's okay, if she needs me to call anybody for her. So my mom said, sure, that's fine, just don't say anything to anyone. So I kind of went outside, and I was just standing around for a little bit until she saw me, and when she saw me, she asked the officer that she was speaking to if she could come by me. Now, I wasn't aware of the situation or what was going on at the time, and again, I was 14 years old, so I really didn't know too much about kind of interfering with a sort of investigation or anything like that, but I did know my general laws. So the lady came over to me, and she was talking to me about kind of what was going on with her, and she kind of gave me the general story about what happened. And apparently her car was licensed to her boyfriend that she was driving at the time, so they had pulled her over because of that situation, and once they pulled her over, they wanted to do some more investigation. So me, being the smart aleck that I was, I decided to tell her, know your rights, and if you need to call somebody, you can call a lawyer or call a friend so they can come and help you. And as I was talking to her, the police officer turned around to me and decided to tell me that I needed to be quiet. And with the fact that he said that, I was pretty upset at that time because he had allowed her to come over and speak with me. But as soon as I started to tell her about helping herself and about having somebody come and advocate for her so she wouldn't get in trouble in any way, or that she was understanding what her rights were, then he decided to start turning around the finger and pointing it at me. Now guys, just to kind of shine some light on this situation, the lady that I was speaking with was a Caucasian lady, and I was a black child, and so were the two police officers that were speaking with her earlier. They were both Caucasian as well. Okay, so now that, he said that to me, and he kind of said, can you move back? And we moved back. So now I'm about 10 or 11 feet away from this officer on a hill, and nowhere near his investigation. And honestly, I didn't even think he could hear me at that point. So I was still talking to her because she was really upset. So I told her, my mom's gonna be coming out, don't worry. Do you want me to go and call anybody for you? I can do that if he won't let you call somebody. Just give me the number and I'll go call them. And once I said that, he got so upset, the officer, with me. He got so furious. He came over to me and he started telling me to shut up. He told me if I said anything else, I was going to be arrested. And I was looking at him like, what did I do? And I actually said that. I said, what did I do? I never said anything wrong. I was just trying to help her. And at that moment, he grabbed my arm. He dragged me to a police cruiser. He threw me on the cruiser, and I'm telling you this, and it sounds gentle as what I'm saying, because the way that he was dragging me was like I was a criminal, like I was holding a gun to somebody's head and he was trying to attack me. He was literally dragging me, and I was a small 14-year-old. I was no more than 100 pounds, maybe even less than that. So I wasn't a very big girl, and for you to be I don't even know, 200-pound cop, that was very excessive for me. And as you know, I was a girl and these were men that were dealing with me, so it also doesn't warrant that kind of excessive force. So he threw me on the cruiser and he said, "Put your hands behind your back," and he began to handcuff me. I told him that he was hurting me, and he didn't care. He proceeded to tell me, "Are you gonna get in the cop car, basically in the police car, or am I gonna throw you in?" So I told him, "No, it's okay, I will get in on my own." The other police officer that was with him just watched everything happening. My mom at this point had come outside and she was screaming at the top of her lungs, "What are you doing?" Everybody that was watching was kind of yelling at them because they didn't see any reason as to why I was being arrested. So after this point, I don't really know what happened in terms of everybody who was in the parking lot, because I was in the police car and the windows were pretty dark and tinted, but I could kind of hear the gist of it, and people were not happy with the situation. I'm just gonna say that right off the bat. Once I was in the police car, the police officer started asking me a lot of questions, and I just decided to exercise my right to not speaking because I didn't feel like he needed any information about me, and I just didn't feel safe. So at that point, he kind of just got into the car and started driving away. Now I was super scared. I was so nervous, and I didn't know what was going to happen to me. I heard so many stories as a child growing up of people that went missing, people that were abused, just so many horrible things happening, police brutality, and I was literally bawling at this time, crying my little eyes out. And when we pulled up to the police station, you'd think that these police officers, being two men with a young 14-year-old child, would park in a visible parking lot. No, they brought me to kind of like a garage type area where the garage door opened and then closed behind me. So I was immensely scared at this time. I was shaking like crazy. I didn't know what was happening. I thought I was going to be raped by these two officers, killed and thrown into a river, and then they would just say that I ran away. Luckily for my advantage, as you guys know, I'm here today, that didn't happen. But I know of so many cases where things like that have happened and they blamed it on the victim. And honestly, I don't feel like as a woman or a girl child, I should have been handled by two male police officers. The least they could have done for me was gone ahead and sent for a woman. But this is why I believe so strongly in Black Lives Matter, because too many people are being taken advantage of on a day-to-day basis, which is not okay. And I just want to say that I am definitely an advocate for Black Lives Matter. I will stand up and support any way that I can, and this is just my idea and my way of trying to help out and speak up for what's right. Okay guys, if you liked watching this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and definitely give me a comment and let me know what you guys thought about this video. And I'd love to hear what your guys' ideas are about what happened. I love you all so much. Bye now.